Kia ora, judges. I'm Dr. Wei Lu, an AI innovator based right here in Hamilton, and I want to warmly welcome the Aotearoa AI Awards 2026 judging panel to this explainer on Forecast Agent. You know, throughout my entire career, I've been driven by just one real passion, and that's unlocking true operational efficiency through spatial and numerical data. But for way too long, I've watched absolutely brilliant teams get totally bogged down by what we call the data science bottleneck. I built Forecast Agent because I firmly believe enterprise teams shouldn't have to wait weeks just to see the future. We really want to empower businesses to make proactive, data-driven decisions at the speed of thought. Okay, let's dive into this. How exactly do you predict the future without actually building a custom model? That right there is the core mystery, and frankly, the massive technological leap we're unpacking today. For businesses, predicting the future is the holy grail, right? Whether you're forecasting supply chain demand or trying to predict infrastructure maintenance, basically every modern enterprise runs on forecasts. But the traditional way of doing this, it's deeply flawed. It's incredibly slow and it's super resource heavy. So we set out to answer one single question. Can we upload completely unseen time series data and instantly generate high accuracy predictions without any of that traditional legwork? To truly appreciate this breakthrough, we kind of have to look at the historical burdens of time series forecasting. Today, if a Kiwi company wants to forecast demand, their traditional pipeline is just broken. First, you spend literally weeks cleaning data, engineering features, and training these bespoke models just to see if a predictable signal even exists. Then, you're trapped in this endless loop of constant retraining cycles to handle model degradation. And third, all of this requires really heavy computational infrastructure and massive setup latency. Because of all this expensive manual engineering, exploration is costly, and critical operational questions simply go unanswered. The business answer, unfortunately, always arrives last. And this brilliantly illustrates how we solved that problem. We engineered a true zero-shot prediction platform for the modern enterprise. Rather than training custom models from scratch for every single specific data set, Forecast Agent leverages massive, pre-trained foundation models. Think of it kind of like a large language model, but built strictly for numerical time series. You just securely upload your raw data, and the engine instantly delivers domain-aware, high-accuracy predictions. There's no historical model training, zero hyperparameter tuning, and absolutely no complex data pipelines. We love to call this a first forecast before fitting. It's literally enterprise-ready foresight right out of the box. Now, when we're talking about business-critical systems, speed and data security are totally non-negotiable. The AI industry right now is heavily wrestling with the black box problem and a really critical flaw in open-source models, data leakage. A lot of public models inadvertently memorize the data sets they're trained on, which means you're often just measuring memory, not actual predictive skill. Forecast Agent is built completely differently. On one hand, we have this engine that delivers lightning-fast inference, but just as importantly, we absolutely guarantee enterprise data sovereignty. Your business data is completely isolated. It's used strictly as context for the engine at the exact moment of inference and never, ever used as training data to update the underlying model weights. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we bring all this complex mathematics to life for the actual end user. That's where the platform truly shines. The interactive dashboard features an incredibly frictionless, dark mode workflow that makes analyzing trends just super intuitive. You input your raw data, define your context window, and the engine immediately outputs structural clarity. And it's not just giving you a raw number either. The system automatically generates point forecasts, confidence intervals, and most importantly, highly actionable business recommendations. It seamlessly connects the tail of your historical actuals directly to the forecast, making sure your visual context is never lost. Let's move to and see how this builds across diverse Kiwi industries, because this is where the real value emerges. This multi-domain matrix shows how Forecast Agent automatically translates abstract numerical data into tangible, real-world business scenarios. For example, it forecasts e-commerce retail demand that's driven by active ad campaigns, alerting planners to go ahead and increase inventory buffers. Or it models commuter traffic flows, adapting to unexpected disruptions so you can reroute transit lines efficiently. The system isn't just blindly crunching numbers. It's delivering context-aware business recommendations tailored directly to your exact operational environment. Let's actually zoom in on a specific infrastructure example to make this concrete. Imagine you're managing our highways. Forecast Agent is monitoring the volumetric expansion of potholes, but predictions don't happen in a vacuum, right? We allow users to overlay continuous variables, what we call future covariance, like heavy rainfall. The system integrates this logic to output a highly specific recommendation: dispatch road patching crews before predicted precipitation washout. By overlaying that environmental data, we're giving road maintenance teams complete contextual awareness to predict infrastructure failures before they actually happen. It's moving completely from reactive fixing to proactive preservation. Of course, handling these highly complex, disruptive events requires immense predictive power, and we have the rigorous benchmarks to back it up. We recently put Forecast Agent head-to-head against massive open-source models built by global tech giants, and Forecast Agent won decisively. On highly complex, trend-heavy data, we achieved a massive 28.2% improvement in accuracy over Google's TimesFM, and on high-frequency, complex grid data, we saw a 25.6% improvement over Amazon's Chronos. So we don't just win on precision, our engine actually serves these batch predictions up to 1.5 times faster. That is a real game changer. So the crucial point is this. We are standing at the threshold of a totally new era in data science. The days of agonizing over custom time series pipelines, doing manual tuning, and waiting weeks for a simple forecast, those days are over. Forecast Agent proves that zero-shot, domain-aware predictions can run flawlessly and securely on your most critical enterprise datasets right now. By saving countless hours of engineering time, we're allowing local enterprises to compete on a global scale with mathematically superior foresight. So, are you ready to eliminate the data science bottleneck entirely? Thank you so much, judges, for your time and for joining me on this explainer. The future's already here. We just need to forecast it.